Hey everyone, Arthur Gaming here. Here we are on the home page for D&D Beyond, and we are going to show you one of their other new tools that has just recently come out and is currently in alpha. So there's could be some changes to get made. However, I've been using it and I really like it. So we're going to go here to the D&D Beyond homepage. We're going to go to Tools, and then we're going to go to Combat Tracker Alpha. So you see here, here's your Combat Tracker Alpha. This is only one way to get to it, and you can go through it. Kind of gives you an idea of what's going on, and you can hit Start Building. Now this basically brings you to your encounter builder, which I showed in a previous video. However, what we're going to do is that's one way to get here. If you want to build from scratch. However, I just did that in a video, so we're going to skip that part. We're going to go to My Encounters. We're going to take the encounter I built in the last one, which is D&D Beyond video number 1. If you remember, see in my previous video, it's the Orc Eye of Groomsh, the Orc, and the Orc Red Fang of Shargris. Now, this is set for my River Break campaign, which I have on D&D Beyond. So all the players made their characters. They put them into the campaign, which, of course, thanks to the cool thing D&D Beyond does, that gave them complete access to all the books that I have access to. And then because they're in that campaign, I can now use this to run the encounter, which is really cool. So you come back here to your campaign and you hit Run Encounter. As you see, it says currently in alpha. I'll probably say that a bunch of times on this video, but just so you know. Now, here are the characters, all set up from D&D Beyond. The players can roll their initiative. There's currently not a way to roll randomly for the players. That might be helpful in the future. Who knows if that's going to add in there or not. Right now there's an auto roll initiative for the bad guys, which is very handy, but not one for the players. Maybe they won't put that in because they assume players want to roll themselves. But let's assign some numbers here. I'm going to put some numbers in here. We're going to do some low numbers and some high numbers. And then I'm going to auto roll for the bad guys. So boom, here we go. Auto roll, filled them in for me. Obviously went to their character sheet and rolled for them. And then we can hit start. So as you see, the cool thing about this is it's ordered everything for you. As you hit next, it's going to go through the players and the monsters, and you can choose to tell, you can tell them, yes, it's now your turn, etc. When they do their thing, it also allows you to track the hit points of the monsters. Now, the one thing it's not doing right now is letting me track the hit points of the players. Maybe I could just assign. Yeah, I guess I could just assign hit points for the different players. I don't know why it's not pulling them from D&D Beyond, though. I wish it would do that. So let's say Kiasa, for instance, she is in my River Break campaign. She is the princess of the kingdom. It's my wife's character. So she plays the princess, and let's just say that she hits this orc here, Orc A, which another cool thing that they do, when you click, it brings the orc stats up over here. So when you're going to be using that monster to attack somebody, the stats are right there for you, which is awesome. The other thing is, for your monsters, if there's multiples of them, it does put A, B, C, D next to them. So if you have some way to, target one of the figures on your board, and you can put A, B, C, D or something next to it, here you go, you have it here. So let's say she hits this orc for she's level 6. She's a warlock, so she's going to do some pretty good damage. Let's say she hits this guy for 12 damage. So we can click on their hit points. We can type in 12, and then we can hit damage. Bam! There you go. Down to 3. One thing this doesn't do right now that I wish it did. Let's say for some reason, so she's done the Eye of Groomsh, she does whatever, I don't care right now for this, and let's say Shunray attacks that same orc, right? And Shunray hits the orc for 8 damage. Not 89, but 8 damage, and we hit damage. So the creature's at 0 hit points. It does not remove them from the list. That's one thing I wish it would maybe do, or give you an option. When you hit 0, the creature's removed. Not really a big deal. All it means is when you hit next, it goes to the dead orc, and then you skip to the next orc. Again, not a big deal. So this allows you to go through and track your encounter. Some great things about it as you go through. As you see, we're at turn 10 of round 1. Now we're at round 2. So if you have some of these things where, you know, Shunrei at some point in time, Shunrei's a monk, so that's probably a bad example. Let's say Hemo casts a spell, and you know it lasts for a minute. And now a few rounds have gone by, and you're unsure if it's still in effect. But you go, well, of course it is, because we're only in round 2, or we're only in round 5. So it lasts a minute, which is 10 rounds. We can't possibly be out of the time at this point, so it's still going, which is a cool feature, I think. So other things, if you're doing a stream or playing with remote players, which you might be doing now because of the state of the world and the virus outbreak, if you have a way to project this, I know some programs or some things that you might be using to project to your players gives you the option to share your screen. You may or may not want to share the screen because A, they can see what all the creatures are, and when you click on them to look at, the stats to do your attacks or whatever you're doing, they can see the stats if you're sharing your screen. So maybe you don't want to do that with your players. So that's kind of tough there. However, one other thing that you can do is you can go to the top here and you can go to manual entry. So at any point in time, you could just go monster 1. You can go monster 2, etc. You can put their hit points in, 25, 28. You can even put their armor class stuff in if you want to, their speed, not 52, that doesn't make any sense. You could put their initiative. So this is not their initiative bonus. This is their initiative roll. So let's say 14 for him and 25 for him. Let's say he's super fast for some reason. And how many of each monster you want. And you can add, and it immediately throws them in. So this can be monsters that you don't want the players to see what their names are. Obviously, they still see their AC, which could help if you want your players to be able to see what AC they have to hit. You could leave that blank. They do get to see their hit points. So, if you're a DM who maybe likes to fudge some rolls or fudge some things once in a while for like dramatic reasons, you won't be able to do that here. But it's there. The name of the monster is hidden. If you click on it, obviously, it doesn't let you bring up any stats. This is a close, so this can close, right? Doesn't let you bring up any stats. It still does let you do damage or, heal the creature, whatever you want to do. It just doesn't tell them what the monster is. Doesn't help them. You could also use this as like maybe if an NPC were to show up. So let's say NPC number 1 shows up, and they have 80 hit points with an armor class of 15, speed of 25. Their initiative is 6, and there's one of them. Then you can pow. All of a sudden, from the next room, this NPC shows up to help. So you can do that too. So those are options to do for hiding it if you want to hide it. If you don't really care if your players see the stats and what the monster is, and you're sharing a screen, it can be a very useful tool to show so the players can kind of queue up and be ready to go. So this is the Combat Tracker Alpha. Again, in alpha, so it's probably going to change a little bit here and there. It's very functional now. I use it often. I love it. I think it's really, really good. It saves. I usually use like a whiteboard with a marker, and I write things down on it when I'm the dungeon master for my games. I've started to use this because A, I want to build my encounters in here so I can keep track of my experience like I showed you in a previous video, and B, because it just makes it really easy to track the rounds. And this is, of course, D&D Beyond. Great tool. Go to them, buy stuff from them. They're very great people, and they do a really good job with what they do. As always, guys, this is the Arthur of Gaming. Please follow me on Instagram. As also, please like my video if you like it. Make some comments. Let me know what you're liking, what you're not liking, and please follow my YouTube channel. More counts I get, the more I'm likely to make some more videos. I'm trying to keep up with some content that maybe you guys like, showing you some things that showing some other things like products that you guys might also like that I find to be great. And so keep on doing that. Keep following us. And as always, guys, please stay safe out there.